Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve Bow, and I am the Jackson County Egg Society treasurer, and I am here tonight to discuss and show you how to do your online fair entries for the Jackson County Fair. So as we get a few more people who are jumping on us here this evening, kind of want to go through some of the new things that are happening this year at the Jackson County Fair in regards to fair entries. The biggest thing that we need everybody to understand is that historically, when you have entered in your projects, when you've sent in your registration to enter into the fair, you have also sent us a check for $7 per exhibitor. And that was basically to give you a fair button. But due with online entries and doing things a little bit differently, we trust that one way or another, you're going to find your way into the fair. And so we do not need payment at all when it comes to your fair entries. So all you need to do is submit your fair entries online, or if you want to submit your fair entries via paper, you can still do that, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But we do not need a check. We do not need a check, so that is something completely different from previous years when you've needed to submit a check during fair entries. You do not need to do that. So to start off today, we are going to I'm going to share my screen, and I believe everybody should be able to see the fair website. And we are going to go to this tab right here called Fair Entries. And this is kind of the one-stop shop when it comes to information regarding entering your projects, be it animals or woods, flowers, whatever it is. This is your one-stop shop. General fair information, you can see the complete fair book, who it's dedicated to, along with some other files that could be important to you if you are doing animals and such. We also have the junior fair by department. So say you are just taking goats and the only thing that you're taking is goats to the Jackson County Fair, you could click this and it would open up just the goat department. Same thing if you were doing open fair. If you click this tab, these are all the open departments. So in case if you didn't want a full-fledged fair book and you wanted to save us some money and save some trees, you could click on here and just get that specific department. But in regards to doing your fair entries, we'll kind of minimize these for right now. The main button you want to be concerned with is this button right here, Online Fair Entries. And then that is going to open up a new website called Blue Ribbon. And I'm going to make sure that it transfers to Blue Ribbon, and it does, which I'm very thankful for. And so if you did online fair entries last year, great, but your account information starts over. So as you can see right here, exhibitor counts do not carry over from previous years or shows. So that means you're going to create new accounts even if you did online fair entries last year. So for instance, we are going to create an account, actually create an account, not log in. So this is very important. You are either going to be in the junior, 4-H, and FFA or open class. So if you are showing is a junior, so what we consider our junior fair, you would want to have clicked junior, 4-H, or FFA. I will later in this video also go through an example for open class. Open class is for all ages. Junior, 4-H, and FFA are for certain age groups, your younger age groups. You need to be a 4-H member, FFA member, youth group member. So we'll go through that. So for this example, we're going to do the junior, 4-H, FFA. You are also going to be required to pick a club name. Now, all of these club names have been approved by the Jackson County Egg Society. If your club name is not, for whatever reason, not listed here, that doesn't mean you technically can't exhibit. It means that the Egg Society needs to approve that club or organization. So for instance, say there was a club or organization at your school that was not included in this. If you came to before the Egg Society and got their approval, that could be added to this. But for this sake, we are going to, let's say, we'll do BTFFA just because I'm familiar with that. And so for this, we will put my name. This is my address. All right. And then you're going to select an email. Now, you do not have to have an email for each username. So what I mean by that is, so for instance, you could be the mother or father to multiple kids who are going to be exhibiting in junior fair. You can use the same email address for each account because you're going to need to create an account for every child that is exhibiting from your household. So we'll just use my personal email here. Additional email could be, for instance, your club leader. You could put your FFA advisor, their email address down. The additional email address would be somebody else that you would want to get this information. In this case, if I was a Blair Taylor FFA member, I might put Miss Munson's email address in there so that she would get a copy of this. If I was a club leader of a 4-H group, I would maybe put, or if I was in a 4-H, I would maybe put the club leader's email in there. But in this case, since I don't quite know Miss Munson's email, I'm going to leave that blank. Let's figure January 1st of 2005. That would put me at 15, 16, 17 years old. And we'll do that I am in 11th grade. Now, premise code for those who are exhibiting animals, if you want to just get this done right here and now, you can enter in your premise code. It is not required because some don't have to put in premise code if you're not taking an animal, but if you are taking an animal, we do require your premise ID code. If you are taking an animal, please include your premise ID at that time. And then this is where you're going to pick the username that is specific to that exhibitor. So for instance, I'm just going to pick my nephew's name, Wes E. That will be the username. And of course it has to be 5 to 12. And then you pick a password and confirm it. Security question. Where were you born? I was born on Earth. I don't know what you guys, but I was born on Earth. And then you hit save account information. And you hit accept. And that is, you are now logged in. You will likely get an email that confirms that your account has been created. Now that email is created for my nephew Wesley. I should have used his name as the point person, but even though it says Steve Arbaugh, this would be for Wesley. So for how to enter into your fair entries, you're going to go up into entries, and you should automatically see that it has already selected your club or chapter. So BTFFA is selected. Now this is where you're going to click to the department that you're interested in. All the junior fair departments are listed here. So for instance, our family actually does do dairy cattle, so we will stay with dairy cattle. And we typically do Swiss, so I will do the plus sign there for the brown Swiss. And you want to just make sure that you're reading your item description carefully. So before you go in to enter your entries, your fair entries, you're going to want to look through the fair book or look through the fair department that you want and kind of write down, department 1, class B, item, whatever. And then you want to make sure that that matches up to what you want. So my nephew would have a fall calf, a registered fall calf. And so here we go, registered purebred fall calf. So we're going to add that, and that entry has been added. And we also have, I believe, a 3-year-old registered purebred. So purebred registered 3-year-old cow. That would be Department 1, Class B, number 16. And we have added that. My nephew also takes some pigs. So we're going to go up here and switch to pigs. And now you're going to see we have actually done something different this year in regards to hogs, in that we have split up market barrows and market gilts. So the same sort of rules apply, but you're going to hit the plus sign, say if you got barrows. Instead of last year, remember we had this confusion of, lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight hog. What we really need to know is, are you bringing 1 hog, 2 hogs, or 3 hogs? And so that's the difference between lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. You'll see this in other departments for animals that are market-based for the livestock market, is that it just basically simply asks you, are you bringing 1, 2, or 3? So in this case, we'll say that we're bringing 2 market hogs. All right. And that's all we're bringing. We're bringing a few brown Swiss and 2 market hogs. Now we're going to go up to review entries. And we see that, in fact, we do have 2 registered purebred brown Swiss. One's a fall calf. One is a 3-year-old cow. And we also have 2 hogs, which would be the market barrows for the swine. Then we go up to items and checkout. Again, there's just a reminder that there is no fee to show at the Jackson County Fair. You would need to buy a button or a daily pass as you enter. And we'll have buttons for sale at local businesses and at the fair office, and we'll even have them here online here for sale in a few couple weeks. There's obviously no fee, but you do have to click this box and reaffirm that you have read and understood the rules and regulations set forth by the fair. If you want to read those rules, you can read them right here. If you want to print off a receipt or preview a receipt, you can do that right here. The rules basically just kind of go through some standard lines, but also for those that are showing animals, it says that you have read, understood, and will abide by the National Show Ring Code of Conduct. So we're going to click yes, that we have clicked that box, and we will submit. Here is kind of the information that should also be emailed to you, but you can also print and preview that as well. This also gives you a great way to just double check that you actually entered in the correct items that you had wanted. The nice thing about online fair entries is that we don't have to guess on people's handwriting, and that actually was a huge chore in the past, was trying to decipher handwriting. But this allows you an opportunity to see right here and now what exactly that you entered in for fair entries. So we're going to log out since I am done technically with my fair entries. Now, each individual member of your household needs to have a login. So you would create, if you had 3 members of your family that were going to be junior showers, you would create 3 different logins. So you would have 3 different usernames, 3 different passwords, but you can all use the same email. So that is one of the nice things. Also, if by chance you were in a situation in which you were going to exhibit one item as 4-H and one item as, let's say, FFA. So for instance, say you were showing beef through FFA, but you were going to show dairy through 4-H. You need to create 2 usernames for that exhibitor, one being that of the FFA and one being that of the 4-H club. And you would register to the specific, in the example I was giving, FFA, you were going to do beef. So under your beef username, or under your FFA username, you would register your beef. And under your second username, you would enter in your dairy, that was the 4-H. So that kind of covers junior. We're going to create an account for open. And so for open exhibitors, it's a little bit different. It does not ask, it does ask for club name, and we ask you to go all the way down here to Club 900. I know that gets confusing, but for open class, we want you to click open class and then click all the way down to Club 900. Club 900 open class. So this will be, you can ask questions in the comments. I may not be able to answer them right now, but after this gets done, I will go back through and try to answer any questions that you may have, and message you privately if need be to make sure that they are answered. Again, open class, you're not going to be using the additional email. You're not having to worry about parents' name or last name, unless it was like a very young child. Then it would be helpful for us to know the parent's name. Some people who are too young for 4-H and FFA will exhibit in open class. This would be an appropriate time to list the parent's first and last name, along with age, you put the farm name. I would also put the premise ID code. Of course they don't match. And I think it's fair to say that Earth is a good answer. Same thing again, you're going to accept. Now I'm registering as a open class participant. So you'll notice up here it's open class as opposed to junior 4-H FFA. And you'll also notice that the departments are now 1 something, 101 dairy cattle, 102 beef. All of the open classes are in the hundreds. Juniors are in the double digits. And open is in triple. So for instance, we're going to do some antiques because that's always popular. And we'll open up antiques, and we're going to do some antique sheet music. I'm sure I can find something laying around. And then we're going to, let's do something else for fun. Let's do woodworking. We're going to do, let's do a wood large article of furniture. That sounds fun. All right, so we've got a few entries. We'll go to review entries. We have our entries here. They look good. That's exactly what I wanted. We will again go to items and checkout and click the by clicking the box, which you have to do in order to submit, that you have understood and read the rules and regulations. If you want to read those rules, you click here. You can also print and preview a receipt there as well, and we will hit submit. And again, you should be getting an email with this information that will confirm that these were your fair entries. Now the kicker is you can log in all the way up until June 25th, 11:59 p.m. and add something to your fair entries. You cannot remove anything. If you need something removed, you need to let us know. But as you're thinking and gosh, something just seems appealing and you just want thinking about adding it, you can just log in, add it, no big deal. And you can do that all the way up until, like I said, 11:59 on Saturday, June 25th. We are accepting paper entries from now up until June 25th. They must be postmarked by June 25th in order for us to accept them without late payment. Like I said, I will try to go through the comments and answer specific questions. Feel free to also list if you have any concerns. I'm going to try to go back to the main fair website and just go through some other resources for those of you thinking about doing fair entries to look at. If you are doing any sort of livestock, there's a livestock resources and information. This has a plethora of information, for those who are looking at doing livestock. You can find out how to get a premise ID. Most importantly, the exhibitor educational tally workshop. If you were to open that, and we'll see if that opens, it will show you exactly who has what. Everybody has to do the YQCA, and they also have to have 3 workshops in order to be able to show at the Jackson County Fair. So this is a great tool and resource to be able to look at where you're at currently. We'll go back here. There's also some resources for dairy. So in regards to the dairy basket auction form, the dairy essay contest, and also you'll find this both here and in the livestock resources, but the junior livestock and dairy basket sale rules. You will also see some information in regards to contests, the Farm Family of the Year, Bake Off, Coloring Contest. Those will all be updated yet this week. Miss Jackson County Fair, and new to the fair this year, Fairs to the Fair. You will see the brochure coming onto the fair website here shortly. And let us know if there's something specific that you would like to see on the website. We will do our very best to get there. So I can't see your comments at this point in time, but as soon as I get off here from the live, I will go and back and comment individually on any sort of questions that I can try to answer. So, all right, with that, everybody, I hope you have a great and safe weekend here coming up, and have an awesome evening. Bye.